Hey boys and girls, I hope you're having a good time doing the Bible school activities there at home. Today I want to talk to you and continue the story of Moses. Now, many years have gone by since Moses left Egypt and ran and sought protection from King Pharaoh. So in Exodus chapter 3, we pick up with Moses, and now he's shepherding the flock of sheep of his father-in-law, Jethro. You remember, he was a priest of Midian. So he leads the flock to the west end of the wilderness, and he comes to a mountain that's known as the mountain of God. Its name was Horeb. And the angel of God appeared to him in a fire that was coming out of the middle of a bush. And Moses looks real close. The bush was just blazing away. The fire's just roaring. But it did not burn the bush up. Moses said, "What in the world is going on here? I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is so amazing. Why doesn't this bush burn up?" Now God sees that he had Moses' attention. And so God speaks to Moses and says, "Moses, Moses." Moses goes, "Yes, sir. I'm right here. Here I am." And God said to him, "Now, don't come any closer. Take off your sandals. Take them off your feet because you are standing on holy ground." And then God said to Moses, "I'm the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." And Moses hides his face. He's afraid to look at God. And God says to him, "Moses, I've taken a good long look at the affliction of my people in Egypt. I've heard their cries for deliverance from the slave masters there. I know all about their pain. And now I've come down to help them, to pry them loose, to get them out of Egypt, and to bring them into a good land that's a wonderful land with many open spaces and has lots of food and good things in it." God said, the Israelite cry for help has come up to me, and I've seen for myself how cruelly they're being treated by the Egyptians. He says, "Moses, it's time for you to go back to Egypt. I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the people of Israel, out of there." Moses says, "God, but why me? God, what makes you think that I could ever go to Pharaoh, that I could ever lead the people of Israel out of Egypt?" God said, "Moses, I'll be with you. And this is going to be the proof that I'm the one who sent you. When you've brought my people out of Egypt, you're going to worship God right here on this very mountain." Moses said, "But God, what if I go to the people of Israel and I tell them that the God of your fathers sent me to you, and they ask me, 'What is his name?' What do I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am. Tell the people of Israel, I am sent me to you." God continues to talk to Moses, and he says, "This is what you're to say to the Israelites. Tell them that God, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob sent me to you. This has always been my name," God said. "This is how I'll always be known." Now, Moses, be on your way. You need to go and you need to get the leaders of Israel together and tell them that I know what's being done to them in Egypt. And I'm going to get them out of that affliction, and I'm going to lead them into that wonderful, wonderful land. God said, "Believe me, Moses, they will listen to you. Then you and the leaders of Israel can go to the king of Egypt. You can go to Pharaoh and say to him that God, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. And let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness so we can worship God, our God, the one true God." Moses said, "But God, they won't trust me. They won't listen to a word I say. They're going to say, God appeared to you? We hardly believe that. God said, Moses, what's in your hand? Now Moses had a staff in his hand. It was a long stick with a crook on the end that he used to help guide the sheep and help with the sheep. God said, what's that in your hand? And Moses said, it's a staff. God said, throw it down. Throw it down on the ground. Moses threw it down, and you know what happened? It became a snake. Well, Moses jumped back real fast. I think I would have too, don't you? I think I would have run away. Then God said this to Moses. He said, Moses, reach down and grab the snake by the tail. Wow. Well, guess what? Moses reached down, he grabbed the snake by the tail, and as he did, it became that staff again. God said, Moses, that's so they will trust that God appeared to you, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God said, Moses, I've got one more test. We got one more thing, one more sign you can show them. He said, put your hand inside your shirt. So Moses slipped his hand inside his shirt, and then he took it out, and his hand had turned really diseased looking. It was white. It had sores on it. It was really sick looking. And God said, Moses, put your hand back in your shirt. He did it again. And when he took it out, it was healthy as it was before. God said, Moses, when you talk to the people of Israel, you can use these signs. You can turn the staff into a snake. You can put your hand in your shirt, pull it out, it'll be sick. You can put it back in and pull it back out, it'll be healthy. You can use this to convince the people of Israel, the leaders, that I have truly sent you. Moses says, God, I've got another problem. I don't talk very well. I'm not good with words. I stutter. I stammer around. Do you know what God then said to Moses? He said, Moses, who made your mouth? Moses, didn't I make your mouth? Of course I did. And I'm going to be with you. And I'm going to tell you what to say. And you can say my words. So finally Moses says, oh Lord, just send somebody else, please. And God said, Moses. See, at this point, God was not very happy with Moses. Moses, don't you have a brother? Isn't your brother's name Aaron? He's very good with words. I know he is. He speaks very well. In fact, Moses, at this moment, Aaron is on his way to meet you. And when he sees you, he's going to be glad. You speak to him and tell him what to say. And I'll be right there with you as you speak and with him as he speaks, and I'll be teaching you every step of the way. He'll speak to the people for you. He will act as your mouth, but you'll tell him what to say. Now take your staff in your hand and be on your way. You can use it to do all the signs. Now next time, we're going to talk about how God delivered the people of Israel from Egypt. And we're going to talk about how God demonstrated how great and powerful he was, both to the Egyptians and to the Israelites. Have fun with all the Bible school activities. Look forward to seeing you again, boys and girls.